Hey everybody, I hope and pray that you're doing well today as we come to our word from the Word. And today that word is prudence. Prudence. Now we're continuing on in First Kings. This week we're going to be looking from chapter 3 all the way through the end of chapter 8. And we're not going to deal with every chapter because a lot of the chapters in the middle of chapter 6 and 7 especially have to do a whole lot with the building of the temple and a whole lot of specifics there. I still encourage you to read all these details, and later on this week, I'm going to share just a few details about the temple so you can understand what exactly is going on. But here we find Solomon today in chapter 3. We find that he has gone up to the high places of Gibeon to sacrifice thousands of sacrifices to the Lord. And so that night, he ends up having a dream where the Lord speaks to him through the dream. And this is something that Solomon is well known for, the decision that he makes right here. And so let's just jump right in today. I know we've been talking prayers, conversations with God and about God. So today, a conversation with God through a dream. So 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 4 through 9. Now the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. Solomon offered 1,000 burnt offerings on that altar. At Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, "Ask, what shall I give you?" And Solomon said, "You have shown great mercy to your servant David my father, because he walked before you in truth, in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with you. You have continued this great kindness for him, and you have given him a son to sit on the throne, as it is this day. Now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king instead of my father David, but I am a little child. I do not know how to go out or come in. And your servant is in the midst of your people whom you have chosen, a great people, too numerous to be numbered or counted. Therefore, give to your servant an understanding heart to judge your people, that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to judge this great people of yours?" I love that in the background of this and in several things we're going to talk about this week, that Solomon is quick to give God the praise and put him in his rightful place, understanding that he's the one who has provided everything that he has up until this point, and then knowing that he's going to provide everything in the future. Now, unfortunately, we know that the split of the kingdom, if you don't know, it comes by way of Solomon and some things that he does later on. But for today and for now, this week, we're going to see at one of the greatest moments in his life some of the things that he did. Now, can you imagine God speaking to you in a dream and saying, "Okay, ask for anything and I'll give it to you"? Now, you just think about that for a moment. What would you ask for? Now, I don't even know, I mean, at this moment, right, even just as I'm asking you, how I could answer that. But Solomon greatly understood the overwhelming position in which he was placed. He knew he didn't get there on his own merits, because otherwise, why would he need God's help, right? So he understands that he needs God, and that God is the one who put him in this place because of his relationship with his father and with David. And because David had prayed for this very thing to happen, David was faithful. So God was remaining faithful to his promise that David's descendants would be on the throne. Here's Solomon. Solomon has the same conditional things in with the covenant, that if he will continue to be with God and continue to serve God, that God will bless him as well. And you'll see that through the reading of his word. But to think that he asks for wisdom, for that prudence, right? To be sharp and to be discerning between situations, because he would need to be the judge between people. You see a very famous story after this later on in the passage about how he used the God-given wisdom to discern between two women and two children, one that was alive and one that was dead. And so he gives him great wisdom. But I wonder today if today in our prayer lives, are we asking God for wisdom? God tells us if any of us lacks wisdom in the book of James, that all we have to do is ask and he gives liberally. The other part I love about this passage is that as you read on, you'll see that God not only gives him wisdom, but because he didn't ask for riches, God gives him that as well. Now, I know you're already thinking, okay, well, I'll just backdoor God and I'll just ask for wisdom and then he'll bless me with riches. Well, don't forget that God knows the heart. And if anyone is going to be the discerning judge, it will surely be him. But in all of this, I guess the point and the challenge for us today would be, do you have the wisdom of God in your life? Is the wisdom of God prevalent in your life? Do you take time before you make a decision to consult with God? To recognize that he's in control and to recognize he has you where he wants you, and to also recognize that before you take any step, you need to take it to the throne. Because whether or not we have the wisdom of Solomon, we know that God blesses him and says there will be no other one like him, as ever been or ever will be, as wise as Solomon. So I wonder today, though, are we using any wisdom, any God-given wisdom to face the day? If you're not, what a great time to start. That time is now. God bless you all, and pray you have a great, great day.